Whoosh, we're back. Squeeze the Neck podcast. Back at Royal Resistance, different background, bit more of a boxing heavy session today. And I'm with my new mate, Natural Ekundayo. Nice one, bro.
Nice to meet you, bro.
Yeah, I think, as I said to you before, just before camera started, I think we met before years and years ago at Gym Box.
Yeah.
Before the prize fight, which you won,
yeah.
Which we'll get into as we go. Shout out to Jesse Page if there's ever finds you, mate. Hope you're well. But before we start, mate, I believe you're from Nigeria originally, right?
Yeah, correct.
Tell us where you're from, mate, and bring us through your boxing career.
I'm from Nigeria. My dad was in the Nigerian army. I grew up in the Nigerian barracks. I was born in the Nigerian barracks. But I moved to my mom when I was 10 and picked up boxing around 11, 12.
Okay.
This was in Mushin, one of the roughest areas in Lagos.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a kick-started.
Nice, easy start into your boxing career. What's boxing like in Nigeria? Is it a big deal?
Amazing. Yeah, it's a big deal. But now I think the parents allow the kids to do it.
Right.
But when I started, I can't tell anyone.
Okay.
So it's got to be a secret. Because
Your family, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A family, even friends. Because
Even friends.
yeah, because boxing at the time was considered one of the sport that people just do to get into like a bad gang and things. So
Right.
a lot of people that do a bit of a boxing are more like hooligans and stuff.
Okay.
So every African parent, and I believe up to now, want their kids to be a doctor, lawyers, or engineer. I didn't have the brain for it to start with. But my parents found out I was boxing on the national TV. So, and yeah, they were surprised I was good at it as well. So my mom just like, all right, cool.
That's fine. What age was you when you boxed on national TV?
12 years old.
Oh, so still a kid, like, yeah. What
Yeah.
was it? Obviously, you was good at it straight away, then I take it.
I reckon, I think I started between, I was going to 12 at the time. I started, but I pick up really quick. I learn visually, like really, and then yeah, my mom just, yeah, whatever. You're good at it.
Yeah.
As long as I don't see you on the TV doing bad stuff, so you're good.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You can carry on getting punched in the head.
Exactly.
But what brought you to the UK? Was you pro in Nigeria first, or did you turn pro here?
I turned pro here. I
Right.
represented Nigeria at the Commonwealth Games 2002 Manchester.
Okay.
So there was some of my teammates were here before. After the Olympics, the 2000 Olympics, I was in the camp for the All African Games to qualify for the Olympics. At the time, I was a bantamweight, but I couldn't make my weight, so I then said nah. So I moved up weight to welterweight. So I
From
made,
bantamweight to welterweight,
Yeah.
which is what? What's that? 3 divisions up, right?
yeah.
Okay.
So, and I didn't. So this is the fun part of it. So the bantamweight, I only move up to welterweight because there's so many people in featherweight, lightweight, and light welter that I don't even want to step in the ring with.
Right. Okay.
And I think if I move to welterweight, if I get beat at welterweight, people will be like, "You're stupid. You're too small for the weight." So I only move up weight not because I think I was gonna beat anyone, but I only move up weight to think that will save me a face. They'll be like, "Oh, you move up that weight is too much," and I couldn't even make the weight because I was way smaller
Okay.
for the weight. But I was like, "Nah, I'm making work. I'm gonna drink. I'm gonna eat," and then I beat everyone up by accident. So I smashed everyone.
Right.
And then I think when I got to the nationals, I was the national champion at bantamweight. In 1998, I was the national champion. In 2000, I won the national again at welterweight. So I'm like, okay.
Is this senior class? This is adults category?
Yeah.
Yeah. And how old are you?
At the time, I was like 15. No, that's a lie. I was that time I was like 19.
All right. So yeah, you kind of. I mean, you're young, but your body's developed, really, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Like, so what weight is bantamweight? What's that? 57.
54.
54. And welterweight would be what? 69 at the time.
67.
But as an amateur, 69, I think.
At
right?
the time.
Oh, really? 67.
67.
67. So it's a big
But-
jump, isn't it? 13
yeah,
kilos, massive.
Massive. But I was too quick, and I think I was just smart. I love the guys at the time. But mind you, these are a lot of people that I was looking up to at the time. Like when I started, these are like uncles that I used to look up to. They're really good.
Right.
But I just won it, and then when also I got banned in Nigeria
Why?
from boxing. So there's a national sport festival in Nigeria. So it's like a mini Olympics within the country, and so I represented Lagos several times. So I was originally from Lagos. So the tournament is like every sport. So every state, like every 2 years. So if you win the National Sport Festival, it's a big deal. So I won the 98, and that was in Imo State. And in 2000, the Edo State was hosting it. But Edo State wanted to win the overall. So they were paying everyone to box for them, or any athletes that's at the top at the time. But I was the second person that get paid from Lagos monthly. So I get paid monthly from Lagos State. But it's just a little, like, peanut to be fair.
Not enough to live on.
Yeah, just a little thing. But for you to get paid, it was 300 naira at the time.
And what's that in equivalent to pounds?
No, not now.
Nothing.
There's absolutely nothing now. But then it was something.
Right.
So then Edo State offered me, like, due to your credential, so we give you 22 grand a month. Like, what? 22 grand? Oh, I'll take it. So I went there, and there's about 5 of us that was invited to Edo State, and Lagos was like, all right, cool. You can keep the rest, but we want them back. So, like, and there was this tournament called All Stars.
Okay.
So then there was an All Stars. So I won the best boxer of the tournament. This was welterweight, and I was given money from the Lagos State the chairman at the time, say for winning the best boxer.
Right.
But I got to sign that I took money from them, so they used that against me.
Okay.
So apparently, I didn't even know. I was just taking it.
Are you making a full-time living from boxing at this point?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got to do what you got to do, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and then time getting close to the National Sport Festival, Lagos was like, no, we pay him. Benin was like, so I was banned. But luckily enough, we had a new secretary for the NABA, which is the Nigerian Boxing Association. It's like, well, we're going to the Commonwealth Games. So mind you, they went to the National Sport Festival and National Championship. There's a new champion at this time. And it's like, well, at the meeting, so few people came up like, we've got some guys that's been banned and stuff. And I was invited to like, well, if this is the best, then come and prove yourself. At the end of the day, they're all representing Nigeria. So this state and that state so under Nigeria. That's how I managed to like get back in the camp and beat every one of them again. So
into the Commonwealth Games. And when you was in the Commonwealth Games, what happened after that? Did you stay here or did you go back home?
I stayed here. So mind you, I had 3 of my guys that was at the Olympics, 2000 Olympics, the one that couldn't make. They were signed. There's a gym called St. Pancras. You know St. Pancras?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
By the time it was called Crunk.
Okay.
So some of my guys were signed with them. So during the Commonwealth Games, I was like, I already been introduced to them even before I went to the Commonwealth Games.
Right.
And so I'm like, so the guy said, all right, we're gonna keep you here, and apply to the Home Office for my extension. So when my extension came, my coach said, I need to box amateur here because the guys that were here at the time were struggling to sell tickets. So my coach was like, look, you're better off to box amateur here for a bit before you turn pro. So kind of establish yourself.
Yeah.
But send the work permit back to the Home Office. Like, no, I want to box as an amateur first. And he's like, yeah, you can F off. So then I have immigration issue for over 10 years. So that's why I turned pro when I was 30.
30?
Yeah.
Is that what how old are you now?
I was 42.
I was going to say, because you look younger than me, bro. You're 42, Jesus Christ. But just jumping back briefly before we go forward, before I forget, you was a bantamweight and then you went straight to welterweight.
Yep.
But like, what did you have, a growth spurt or something? Because there's not a pro in the world you're making bantamweight now, right?
Nah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, did you grow?
I was growing, but mind you, I was growing even when I was bantamweight.
Right.
I was killing off myself. And the only reason why I couldn't make the All African Games camp, during the camp I was on weight, so they gave us 2 weeks off because we were actually meant to go to the to the World Championship.
Right.
And it was cancelled at the last minute. So the president at the time was like, look, we don't have the funding for it. So we're already in camp. So I'm like, all right, we'll give you 2 weeks off because you've been in camp. So I just like eating and I couldn't make the weight. It's just like.
And that's when it all started,
Yeah,
right?
and everyone was like, no, I'm like, nah, I don't want to do this. It was too, and training in Nigeria is not a joke.
Right, okay.
So it's discipline and everything. So
What's that look like? What's the Nigerian training camp look like?
amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. There's no, if we have a good infrastructure, it would have been, like, that's why you see a lot of Nigerian fighters, when they come out from Nigeria and come and have all the facilities and have the right training camp, we always accede to the top level.
Right.
You know, so yeah.
Because there was a guy, I believe, maybe you'll know better than me, I can't remember the guy's name. I believe he boxed for the UK, or Team GB, sorry, as an amateur. But he came from Nigeria and then he was like stuck here.
Salam.
That's the guy. He was.
So I trained him.
Right.
He was the first person that boxed at the welterweight. So I beat him 3 times.
As an amateur or pro?
Amateur.
Amateur.
So I beat him 3 times and we became friends. So I started training him.
Yeah.
From a kid, so we used to like, and so I said to him, look, I'm welterweight. You might as well move up.
Right.
Because I beat him in the trial.
Right.
So go back to when the Lagos was fighting for me to come back, they kind of set up a trial between me and him.
Right.
To see if they really need to actually fight for me, or if he can beat me, then they can ask me to go. So I stopped him. I literally knocked him out cold. And yeah, so that was it.
And what's his story now? Because like I haven't heard about him for a few years.
He's gone back home now.
He's gone back home to Nigeria.
Yeah.
Because what was his situation? Like he was stuck here, or he couldn't go home, or what was the deal?
No, he wasn't stuck. He was married, and obviously there's family issues, so he's just went back home. So.
Right, I got you. But so when you turned pro here, how many times did you box as an amateur here?
I think I boxed about 4 times.
And this was for St. Pancras?
No, that's a lie. Few times actually. I did the ABAs in 2003. I lost at the first fight. So I started training Tony and one of my mates. We all came together. I trained both of them to the final. So Tony won gold and Fred won silver. Then I trained Tony to the national 4 nations.
Okay.
Where he won gold as well. So I worked for them. And I had club show as well.
Yeah.
I had some fight at club shows, and that's about it. Really.
Was this for St. Pancras, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then I moved to St. Pancras. I couldn't box for St. Pancras.
Why?
So Tony and Fred could box for St. Pancras, but I wasn't allowed.
Right, okay.
Because I was welterweight. But the head coach there have a boy at welterweight, and it's like, nah. So I went to box for All Stars.
Okay, all right.
So I went to All Stars. My first opponent was against All Stars boy as well. I lost to him, Jamie. And then in 2005, I won the London. But I got to the quarterfinal ABAs in Liverpool. And then, yeah, that was it really.
And you was done with the amateurs then? Was it like you wanted to turn pro straight off?
No. I turned pro. I wouldn't say I turned pro by accident, but I just turned pro for the sake that just say I did it.
Right, okay.
So I said, look, because my coach always saying, the only thing that I regretted was never turn pro. If he had turned pro, it would have. So I'm like, I don't want to regret it. So I'm like, I'm gonna turn pro. Just maybe have a 2 fight, maximum 5, and 2 fights. My third outing, it was Prizefighter.
Right, okay.
Went on to win Prizefighter.
Okay, so when you turned pro, it wasn't like one of them situations where it was like, right, I want to be a world champion, I'm going to do this, and this.
I just want to do it like, okay, I just did it.
Yeah. And we come on to your pro career, because you've only got one loss, which is a split decision, which was a bit one of them, right? Gary Cochran.
Yeah.
So it's like, could be undefeated, really, right? It's one of them. But let's go back a bit first, because as you said, Prizefighter was where it was. Because at the time, I was working at Gym Box, and I can't remember. I keep going back and forth whether I was actually there for it or not. But
I probably think you are, because a lot of people turn up.
A lot of people
come from Gym Box as well. Because I used to come to Gym Box.
Because they was all my friends at the time. Like, we was at Gym Box. We used to go to a lot of things together and that. So but
Jess was there, so you definitely.
Jess was there, so I was probably there, right? But regardless, Prizefighter going in. I remember people going, "Oh, he's got a call for Prizefighter because of Jesse, the connection and whatnot." And I didn't know who he was before that point, but like it was like, "Oh, he's going to win it," and blah blah blah. So it was like, blah blah. Take us through the Prizefighter situation.
So Prizefighter, I remember Spencer Fearon was my manager at the time, and he called me and said, "I'm going to put you in Prizefighter." I said, "Are you mad?" He said, "No, I'm not doing it." Now mind you, my mom passed away in Nigeria all along when I was here.
Okay.
So I haven't seen where she was buried. She passed away 2 days before my daughter was born.
Right.
My eldest daughter.
And your daughter was born here or in Nigeria?
No, here.
Here.
So I couldn't go back home.
Okay.
So when my visa and everything was sorted at the time, I said, I'm going to Nigeria, and Spencer said, look, you got fight Prizefighter. I said, you're mad, I'm not doing it. He said, I've seen these bastards, how they kill each other. It's like, no, I'm not doing it. And it's like, look, I think your mom will be proud of you today. That's how he got me.
That's how he got you. And sorry to stop you there, but for anyone who doesn't know, Prizefighter is 3 fights on one night. If you keep winning, you keep fighting, right?
Yeah.
So how many fighters in it? It was 3 fights. So it's quarters, semi-final, all on one night.
Yeah,
it was a big deal.
The guy that I fought at the time, I think he was ranked number 10 in the world at the time.
What was his name?
Craig McEwen.
Craig McEwen, okay.
So Craig had 23 fights, 21 wins, 2 losses. But the 2 losses that he had was when he fought for world title twice.
So this is a serious fight, and this is a big deal. And what weight was this? Was this at
light
what
middleweight?
I was going to say, because that's what they do as well, a lot in Prizefighter. You're at different weights and whatnot.
So it was light middleweight, and Craig was southpaw, and I think it's about 6'3", 6'4" tall.
Was he? Okay.
Yeah, it was like a long distance relationship between me and him fighting.
Is that right?
But yeah, it was a great night, you know. And I remember the best advice I got from one of my guys. He said to me, Larry, he said, just don't think about the results. Just have fun, and that's what stuck with me. So that's why if you look at the Prizefighter, I was just like messing about, like, because I wasn't putting pressure on myself. I didn't have anything to lose. I only had 2 fights. So even if I get beat,
you're supposed to get beat anyway, aren't you? Really?
That's what everyone thought. But a lot of people that knows me from coming to the gym and see me spar pro, kind of like it's a dark horse. So you go watch out for it.
Right.
You see. So yeah.
Because that was the vibe as well at Gym Box. People was going, he's a dark horse, he's going to do well. Now, as I say, I didn't know you, and they said you'd only had 2 fights, and I kind of went, that's a tough day out, do you know what I mean? But obviously it worked out because you went on to win it.
Yeah, it was a great night. It was a great night, so yeah.
And you said, like, obviously at light middleweight, like, you're a fairly big guy. How would you walk around that?
At the time or now?
Either, both, give us both.
So, I still technically walk around while walking around when I was boxing.
Right.
I usually walk around like 73, Is that all? Like 75.
Yeah, but still, that's pretty close, 76. Isn't it? Like, because you're a fairly big guy, I would have thought you was heavier than that.
When I was welterweight, I'd walk around 70, 76, 70.
Yeah.
But then, as soon as I start training, I do a long run and everything just melt off.
Comes off, yeah.
And I'm lucky to have that kind of body where my weight can drop off quickly. So
yeah, I got you. And when you've won Prizefighter, before we get too far ahead in your career, what was that like straight away? Is that like did that open a lot of doors for you?
I opened a lot of doors, but the door I wouldn't say opened a lot of doors per se. No, that's a lie. Because I was offered to fight for the British Eliminator.
Okay.
The same week, I was actually in training camp for this, and I was meant to fight Glenn Foot. He won the prize fighter at welterweight.
Right. Okay.
Year after, but then I had a rib fracture, and also my youngest daughter was diagnosed with cancer at the time.
Whoa. Okay.
So boxing had to kind of like go to side. So
Yeah,
yeah,
right.
and that kind of like put that to side again
Right.
for about 2 years.
Yeah.
So mind you, I couldn't box for over 10 years as a pro, but I turned pro because of the immigration. And when that happened, then my daughter. So yeah.
Wow. And
So-
who was British champion at this time when you was talking about like eliminators?
I can't remember. I don't know who the British
Because the only
champion
reason
was.
I asked at that point, because around that time, I don't know exactly when it was, maybe someone can help me out. Old amateur club mate of mine, Bradley Skeet, would have been British champion at some point.
No, Bradley wasn't, because I was helping Bradley in camp. This time I was back, so I won the African title. Bradley and I used to spar
Is that right?
a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, back Bradley. So Bradley said to me, it was, that time it was, what's this kid from Birmingham?
Frankie Gavin, are we talking about?
No, not Frankie. Really good, tough kid. Bro. So Bradley, I meant to fight for the mind. I did the British and Commonwealth Eliminator with that I won. So because I didn't have a British passport at the time, I couldn't box for
Can't fight for the British title,
for
right?
British title, but I'm eligible to fight for the Commonwealth.
Right, of course, because Nigeria.
So yeah. So what's his name? So Bradley. So I was helping Bradley in the camp, and Bradley said, "Look, when I win it, I'm gonna vacate the Commonwealth for you, so you can fight for it."
Right, okay. And
Sure.
what was Bradley British champion later? Was it after this?
No. Before it became the British champion. So he
Yeah,
was
that's what I
training-
mean. Sorry, Bradley became British champion later down the line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So no, he was in the camp to fight for it.
Oh, he was already in camp for fight. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
So
right,
and
right,
we said, "Look, I'm gonna vacate the Commonwealth for you, and you can fight for it because you deserve it."
right, okay.
So after he won it, he just said that's it. He literally just vacated it,
Okay.
like straight away. It's like, go get it,
Yeah.
you know.
Because he
And-
might be one of the nicest guys in boxing, Bradley, right?
Yeah,
That's what people used to say about him a lot. He's too nice.
No,
Like,
he's a legend, that guy.
Great guy,
It's
yeah.
like- so while I was meant to fight for that, I meant to fight a kid from Australia. And for some reason, I was number 2, this guy's number 1, but I can't remember his name. But then to fight me now, he then chose someone else. But the guy that I chose was, what's his name? Chris George or something.
is this for
Australia
what-
as well.
Right, this is for the vacant belt, is it? Is this for the belt
Yeah.
Bradley gave up?
Yeah. So he then chose number 12, I think. I think he can choose in between.
Right.
But he got beat by that kid.
Okay.
And they said, well, because that happened, I will be the first one that George have to defend it against.
Right.
So I believe while I was in camp training for George, and they changed it, you're fighting Gary for the WBO. But even that, I had a bad hand.
Uh-huh.
I had to have a surgery after that. So with that fight, I had to take anesthetic injection because I couldn't take cortisone injection. Otherwise, it would be
Right.
Yeah, it will be like drugs.
Banned substance,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, and didn't get the decision, as usual.
But a split decision, right? And like,
I thought I nicked it.
well, that's what I'm coming on to,
and,
right?
Frank Warren came to the changing room and was like, I think you nicked it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
And that's the only loss in your career. Does that still burn?
No, it's just boxing.
That's
It is
right.
boxing because a lot of people, when they lose, they can't come back.
Right.
But then I went on to win the IBF European after that.
So there you go. But was there ever a chance of a rematch with Gary or not?
Nah.
Nah.
Mind you, Gary's my pal as well.
Is that right? Okay.
Gary's my pal, and I know I can't fight that bastard with one hand.
Yeah.
It's a horrible guy to fight. So, and when I was fighting for the British and Commonwealth eliminator, he was my main sparring partner.
Oh, right. So
we know each other. We had a lot of sparring as well. And he's one of the nicest human beings outside the ring. Right. In the ring, he's trying to take your head off.
Yeah.
So, but that's it, really.
That's boxing, isn't it? That's how it goes, man. And then from that, like, you carried on fighting for a long time after, right? So, like, you're retired now, you told me, but what made you stop? Was it an age thing or what?
No, it's just life gets involved sometimes.
Right. I got you.
And it's kind of like, just leave it.
Yep, I got you.
All the brain cell is working, and also I've got the ability to teach.
Right.
So I have some of my teammates that do help as well. Some with the light of Dan Aziz, Elizoro, Denzel Bentley, Chris Buck. So I have so many guys that I work with. So I can't be lucky enough. Oh, I've got to take this.
You got to take this call? Go for it, man.